an I-Team exclusive, a mega house for a mega church pastor. NBC Charlotte's I-Team has confirmed that Elevation Church pastor Stephen Furtick is building a 16,000 square foot home in Weddington.
News of the multi-million-dollar mansion prompted NBC Charlotte I-Team reporter Stuart Watson to do what investigative reporters do best: follow the money.
Now, Elevation Church is the largest megachurch in North Carolina, and there's no question that Elevation and its pastor, Stephen Furtick, have done a lot of good. The church has just passed the $10 million mark in gifts to charities like Samaritan's Purse and Crisis Assistance Ministry. Full disclosure, members of our staff attend Elevation, and the church is paid to air its services on NBC Charlotte and its banner ads on WCNC.com. But when the I-Team learned that Furtick was building a $1.7 million home, we started asking hard questions. This is the story of the House of Stephen.
Let's be a generation known for what we stand for. Let's be a generation known for what we love.
In the beginning, Stephen Furtick created Elevation Church.
He's a rock and roll star.
His followers are called elevators. These elevators only went up.
Good morning, welcome to Elevation.
From 14 people to 14,000 in less than 8 years.
Good morning, guys, welcome.
With even bigger plans for the future.
The Lord's going to enable us to be one of the first churches in the United States to have 100,000 people.
He's one part preacher, one part celebrity.
Stephen Furtick!
Headlining all over the world.
Don't you ever let anyone talk you out of what God put in you.
He's not a club band anymore. He's a stadium band.
His church giving more than $10 million to charity and hundreds of thousands of hours of volunteer work.
Pastor Stephen Furtick, I want to tell you thank you.
Now the man who just calls himself Pastor Stephen is more popular than the church he built, with 4 times more followers on Twitter than Elevation Church itself.
The book is called Greater, and it's about dreaming bigger.
Stephen Furtick is his own brand, profiting from book sales and paid personal appearances around the world.
And people are asking me, like, are you really going back to Australia again?
So the pastor keeps making more money and more money and more money.
Now Stephen Furtick is spending a lot of that money on a 16,000 square foot house. It has 7.5 bathrooms. Building permits put the contract value of the house alone just shy of $1.4 million. The land cost another $325,000 for a total cost of more than $1.7 million. You can't see the house from the street. It's behind a no trespassing sign off Lockhaven Road in Weddington. Hidden by 19¼ acres of dense woods, Furtick's name is nowhere on the deed. Instead, the property is in the name of the Jumper Drive Trust.
The pastor should be the servant of his people, and he should be the one that's the most transparent.
Ole Anthony of the Trinity Foundation in Dallas, Texas, belongs to a small church.
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe.
He believes preachers should give up their big houses.
It saddens me to see what the church is becoming.
And get back to the Christian church's humble beginnings.
There, the pastors lived as the poorest of the poor, not the richest of the rich.
For 7 weeks, we've tried to talk to Stephen Furtick about his multi-million-dollar home. We've sent emails, made phone calls, sent a registered letter, even made one face-to-face personal appeal. He's always declined until one Sunday he brought me up in his sermon.
So I've been feeling sorry for myself lately because they told me this news reporter is trying to do this story where he wants to make our church look bad.
Then he described his multi-million-dollar home as, quote, not that great.
Well, me and Holly this year, we're building a house. We've been looking for a piece of land to build a house for our family for a long time. So I'm like building this house, and I'm real excited about it and everything. But then I found out, this is crazy, the news tried to fly this chopper over our house. The people that are building it told us, they're flying a chopper over your house. I'm thinking to myself, first of all, it's not that great of a house. I mean, I'm sure there's better houses if you just got to fly a chopper over somebody's house. But it started to mess with me a little bit. And then I started to get a little self-pity because I was like, God, now this ain't right, because I didn't even build that house with money from the church. I built it with money from my books, and I gave money to the church from the books. And you start getting real defensive and being like, this ain't right, this ain't right.
I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with that.
Chris Roseborough runs Pirate Christian Radio from his home in suburban Indianapolis. It's a kind of protest podcast against preacher profiteers.
There's no distinction between Elevation Church and Stephen's books. The two get meshed together in a way that oftentimes creates a real conflict, because the job of a pastor is not to preach his book. The primary place that, let's just say, advertises the message of the book is Elevation Church.
Elevation Church paid for full-page ads promoting the book. Elevation Church paid to air sermons featuring the book on TV stations, including WCNC.
You're going to give something away for every person that purchases Greater.
Elevation Church packed up swag to sell the book.
Child gets a backpack for every copy of Greater. Somebody called this a gimmick the other day, and I thought it was just like always a good thing to do, to give a poor child who can't afford a backpack full of supplies. I was like, didn't know that that fell under the category of gimmick.
Elevation lead pastor Chunks Corbett tells me the books help the church tremendously in 3 ways. First, Furtick arranges for the publisher to sell books by the thousands to Elevation Church at his author's discount. So Elevation Church makes money on the book, but no one will say how much. Second, Furtick donates some of his own advance money to Elevation Church. Corbett says he's very generous, but no one will say how much. Third, the publisher pays Elevation Church outright to produce slick videos marketing the book, but no one will say how much. All this makes Elevation Church sound like just one more private business.
I mean, is he not doing the exact same thing that the money changers were doing in the temple, basically using God's house to make a profit? I mean, this is exactly the same behavior. You know what Jesus did? He made a cord of whips and drove those damn people out of God's house. The church does not exist for this.
While the nonprofit tax-exempt church paid for the promotion, the profits from the book paid Furtick himself. Profits that he says bought the multi-million-dollar home.
I would also argue that it's not exactly suffering for Jesus.
Warren Cole Smith is a Charlotte author and editor at The World, a Christian magazine.
That's sort of the dirty little secret of megachurch pastors, is that they use this church as a platform, and then they sell books, and then they make a lot of money on the side.
Yet Elevation Church has asked volunteers and employees alike to sign this confidentiality agreement. The agreement threatens to sue volunteers and members if they disclose church finances.
If Stephen Furtick's followers and the congregation at Elevation want to pay him these outlandish salaries, want to allow him to live in multi-million-dollar homes, that's up to them. They're the ones that are contributing the money, but they should know that.
And many churches believe that the congregation, the people, the followers, should get a say in the pastor's salary and his housing allowance through these elected elders or deacons in the church. But at Elevation Church, this is a closely guarded secret. And tomorrow night, the I-Team will report on the men who set Stephen Furtick's salary. They are not elected, and none of them are even members of Elevation Church. Guys?